Welcome back to our channel Quick Learning. So now our topic of presentation is performance management versus performance appraisal. So this is a basic comparison between both of them, and many people confuse these two terms in their studies or in their career. So I will explain with the help of a comparison chart. I will tell you about their definitions, the key differences, and then finally I conclude this topic. So before starting, kindly subscribe to my channel. Thank you. So first of all, comparison chart. So the comparison, first of all, meaning. The meaning of performance appraisal is the analysis of an employee's performance and their caliber for future growth and development. But the meaning of performance management is the management of human resources in an organization. So performance appraisal, it is a system, but the performance management, it is a process. So the nature of performance appraisal is rigid, fixed, okay, but the nature of performance management is supple. It is not rigid. It is opposite of rigid. Then the type of tool we use in a performance appraisal is operational tool. But the type of a tool in performance management is strategic tool. Then owned by. The performance appraisal is owned by human resource department. But the performance management is owned by managers. Then performance appraisal is conducted annually. But the performance management is a continuous process. It's like a loop that goes on and on and on. It goes throughout a year. Then the approach of performance appraisal is individualistic, like individual related. But the approach of performance management is holistic. Then the focus of performance appraisal is quantitative aspects. But the focus of performance management is qualitative aspects. Then the corrections in performance appraisal is retrospective. But the corrections of performance management are prospective. So this is the comparison chart between both of them. Now the definition. So the definition of performance appraisal, it is an assessment of the employees by their managers, in which he or she evaluates the overall contribution made by the employee to the organization. It is a systematic and logical review conducted by the organization annually to judge its potential in performing a task. It helps to analyze the skills and abilities of an employee for their future growth that increase the productivity of employees. Then, performance appraisal helps to identify the employee who performs their task well and those who are not, along with the reasons for the same. So, performance appraisal is an organized way of evaluating employee performance, for which a comparison is made between actual performance and the present standards. So, the results of performance appraisal are documented. After that, reviews are given to the employee about their performance during the year to tell them where they require improvements. Employees also wish to know their position in the organization after a particular period of time. So this is a very great diagram. This tells you that first of all, obviously we have objectives of performance appraisal, then establish job expectation, then design an appraisal program, appraise performance interview, achieve appraisal data, and use appraisal data for appropriate purposes. So the performance management is in the last three blocks, like the performance interview, achieve performance appraisal data, and the use appraisal data for the appropriate processes is the performance management. And the second, third, fourth, and fifth blocks are their feedback. Then the definition of performance management. So the performance management is a continuous process that aims at planning, monitoring, and evaluating the objectives of an employee and his total contribution to the organization. The basic purpose of performance management is to encourage and improve employees' efficiency and effectiveness. In this process, both the employees and the managers participate in setting the objectives, assessing the performance or progress, providing training and feedback to the employees at regular intervals for improvement, implementing development programs for employees and rewarding them for their achievements. So now the key differences between both of them is performance appraisal is like we have to evaluate, then measure, rate, rank the employee, and then we give our feedback. But the performance management is like we have to facilitate our employees, then we have to encourage them and empower them. So performance appraisal is basically of the past performance of the employee, but the performance management is for the future results of the employees. So this is if anyone wants you and ask you about the difference in one line, then you can say that performance appraisal is about the past performance, but the performance management is about the future results. So some other differences are: the system of performance appraisal is usually tailor-made, and the performance management is tailor-made. Then application: performance appraisal is applied to all staff, performance management is also applied to all staff. Then types of objective in performance appraisal is individual objectives may be included. But in performance management, emphasis on integrating corporate, team, and individual objectives. So performance means mostly qualitative in performance appraisal, and in management it is competence requirement often included as well as qualified and quantified measures. So quality related is appraisal and quality is related to appraisal and quantity is related to management. Then frequency. So performance appraisal is only one time per year, annual basis. But the performance management is throughout a year, continuous process. Then the rating system in performance appraisal is top-down system, from top to down and with ratings. But performance management is a joint process and rating less common. So link to reward in performance appraisal is often linked to pay, but in management may not be direct linked to pay. Then adaptability of performance appraisal is monolithic system, but in performance management it is a flexible process. Then the paperwork in appraisal is a complex paperwork, but in management it is a documented for often minimized. Documentation is like very minimum. Then ownership of performance appraisal is owned by HR department, but in management it is owned by line management. So finally we conclude our presentation by saying that the performance appraisal and the performance management are completely different. But it can't be said that they are contradictory because performance appraisal itself is a part of performance management. So in this way we can say that performance management is a bigger term that involves some steps. So thank you, that's all from my side. Kindly subscribe to my channel and like and share my video. Thank you.